Hello and welcome to Veltins Arena, site to race number 35 on the season. We're just waiting on cars to go ahead and go out on track. Um, in all honesty, I'm not quite sure what to expect for this qualifying session. Pit lane is kind of hard to get onto. And you'll see it here with Jim Casella, Matthew Marias possibly. Yep. And so we've got three cars who are all going to be trying to get to pit lane. Looks like Amy Shelley will be the first one to actually make it out on track. So with Amy Shelley, the car that comes into this race first in the owner's points, yep, that's a thing. Actually, Will Lewis going to be able to set a lap time. Preston Plourd's going to be trying to go to the pit lane. Amy Shelley, top of the owner's points coming in. This is an elimination race, so we'll decide the final four as well. Whoa. We'll be deciding the final four as well as the final four for owner's chase and the driver's chase. We might also very well know our top 30 in owner's points this season after this race. Look out. Amy Shelley currently quickest though in this practice session, 15:82. I'm not even going to try and do it the other way. Will Lewis, currently 8th quickest, one of the Go-Go homers, still trying to make it back to pit lane with that AAA Ford. They are 31st in the owner's points coming in. Not that time. Hello, look how Troy King flying. That might actually work for him. But Troy King now, Will Lewis, 31st in the owner's points, trying to, oh my. Yeah, this for qualifying, probably a terrible idea. Will Lewis will have to make it in on speed. Sorry about this, it's freezing a little bit for me. There we go. Had to just click back in. Moving on, Dylan Young currently trying to set a lap time. You can see he struggled to get onto the track, so not really worried about that one for him. The Budweiser Chevy comes into this race 6th in the owner's points, so in the bottom four, gonna have to get a strong run to be able to try and advance to the final four at Talladega. Jeff James, the unsponsored car, currently 10th quickest, 15:59. They will race. They are 24th in the owner's points, looking to lock up a spot in the top 30 as it was ran into the back of the 89. It was announced this week that Henry Sanford will actually be piloting the the 00 next season, so new driver for them, and a guy with some somewhat good experience there in that car next season. And James is not going to make the pit lane that time by. Yeah, this for qualifying probably a terrible idea. Oops. Jay Stella is currently 9th quickest, and they are going to have to make it in on speed. Currently not even top 42 in owner's points as there's trouble there. Gonna pause it, we'll be right back. And we're back. Like I said, Jay Stella gonna have to make it in on speed. One of the Go-Go homers, they will not even be able to make top 30 in owner's points. Only 3 cars currently outside top 30 can actually get into the top 30 in points for the owners, so. Preston Plourd has already locked up this team's spot in the top 30 in owner's points going into next season, so that's good news for them. Especially considering they do have a full-time entry, and then this car is going to be running part-time next year. Currently 23rd quickest at 16:11. That is not a full normal lap here yet for him, so gonna have to see how that can go, and it's not going to get any better here this lap. For Preston Plord, this team is 18th in owners points coming into this one. Like I said, locked up a spot in the top 30 in owners points going into next season. Kyle Matthews currently 10th quickest. They will race 1550. And this car also has locked up a spot in the top 30 in owners points going into next season, but currently only looking at running a part-time schedule for the 09 car. So that is, of course, also provided they can find a driver. So we'll have to see how Kyle Matthews can do tonight. Looking for good things and some momentum heading into a new team next year, switching over to Hendrick Motorsports. So going to try and bring them back to some prominence as they've struggled a lot this season. Jake Baskinger, the Imitrex Chevy on the 18 this week. They are one of the Go homers, 32nd in owners points, one of the 3 cars who can actually make the top 30 in owners points right now. They have yet to set a lap time though in this practice session. They are the only car yet to do so, so hopefully they don't end up pulling a Cosmic Nova from Thornton. Matthew Marias, currently 23rd quickest at 1598. That will probably have to improve as well, actually, I only see there's 4 of them right there, but I still think that time's going to have to improve. They come into this race not even top 42 in the owners points. Now up to 8th though, so just as I was talking about him having to improve, he does go out and improve the time. Great job there by Matthew Marias. Tristan Wilhoit, the U.S. Air Force Ford, is out there, currently 7th quickest. So they have the little Debbie on the side there, as well as Motorcraft. For Wilhoit, this car does not come into the race top 42 in the owner's points, so gonna have to try and just make the race and hope for the best. They cannot make top 30 in owner's points, as I think I just saw the 96 in the pit wall. I don't know. Ali Nelson, currently 2nd quickest, trying to get back to the pit lane, as just ran a 15:01, now 17 second lap. Ran her fastest lap of the session, then tried to get to the pits. That didn't go so well. Nelson comes into this race 30th in the owner's points with the 22 car, as Marias tries to go down into the pits, not able to do so. Nelson, though, like I said, 2nd quickest right now, 15:01 with an 8. They will race, though. Ben Neuwirth, the Bad Boy Mowers Dodge, is currently 11th quickest, and they are 13th in the owner's points, having already been eliminated from owner's title contention. Jonathan Zorline, one of the Go home cars this week, the GMAC Chevy, currently 20th quickest on the speed chart. Just ran a 15.666, so yeah, good luck with that, Zorline. Not top 42 in owners points, and they decide to try and bring it in, and Zorline misses the pits. Will basically do the same thing that I think the 22 of Nelson did there. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Ashley Brock, the Irwin Tools Ford, currently 10th quickest in this group. And they come into this race 41st in the owner's points. Will not be able to make top 30 in owner's points with this car. So, gonna try and just run well, I guess, basically. Eric and Rage, currently 3rd quickest in the Goodwrench number 29 car. They come into this race 2nd in the owner's points. Not quite sure the gap that they've got, but either way. Gonna try and just survive, basically. 90 laps in store, meaning the D&Q race will be 45 laps. Steven, I know you're talking about your green and white checkers. I'd recommend running this no caution just because of the pace car. I will be honest, I'm giving you that fair warning right now. Run this D&Q race, no caution. Oh my! Tom Shelley was on his roof. I know I did not just see that. That was legit. Okay then. Henry Sanford, 21st quickest right now, and that car is 12th in the owner's points coming in after being already eliminated from title contention. One win on the season for them with Ashley LaPlante. Nothing so far with Henry Sanford this season. Looking to break a winless streak that is in the 75 plus races already. Currently 22nd quickest in this group. Stephen Paul III, currently the quickest guy in this group, 14.961, the only driver in the sub 15 second bracket. And the 33 is third in the owner's points coming in, trying to survive Veltins Arena and make it to Talladega. Make it to Talladega to compete for the owner's title there for this team, is what they're trying to do. So far, a good start on pole. Mary Shelley is currently 12th quickest in this group, 15.27 for the pedigree Ford. 4th in the owner's points, 4th in drivers coming in, so holding that all-elusive bubble position right now, looking for a good qualifying effort to try and make it in. I'm expecting tiebreakers in all honesty. Matt Dixon is 24th quickest right now at 15.55. Trying to find some clean track right now, getting held up by the 59 of Hiroshi Kazuyoshi. 42nd in the owner's points for the 40. Cosmic Nova is 27th quickest with Damage going to be trying to get to the pit lane with 3 minutes left. Not a whole lot of time. They do not come into this race top 42 in the owner's points, so not quite sure where they're at right now. Jessica Shelton just ran her quickest lap of the session, 15.22. I don't know which one that exactly is. It's a Cheerio scheme, I can tell you that much. That's about all I can tell you. Ooh, Cosmic Nova. Shelton, though, currently 13th. Will have to make it in on speed. 37th in the owner's points. Tom Shelley, 25th on the speed charts, is 7th in the owner's points coming in. Gonna have to get a good run here to be able to try and make it in. About 56 points, I think, out of the top 4 right now as they start the race. Kazuyoshi is currently 23rd quickest. The year 1 Chevy will race. 28th in the owner's points coming into this one. Troy Kang, the No Fear 60, will race. They are 5th in the owner's points coming in. I actually thought I would have had a lot more time than I ended up having. Sam Curtis, the yellow Best Buy Chevy, will race. They are 23rd in the owner's points coming in, currently 16th on the speed charts. Alex Hawkins, the Haas Chevrolet, is 21st on the speed charts, 15.39. That's going to need to come up here in the next however much. They are not top 42 in the owner's points. We'll have to make it in on speed. Ax Casella, currently 18th on the speed charts. They have locked up their spot in the top 30 for the rest of this year. They do not right now have plans to run next season, though. I think I showed Henry Powers in some capacity. Either way, he's 9th quickest right now, and they come into this race 8th in the owner's points, and Powers is 8th in drivers. Very dire situation for them. They are going to be a must-win for this race to be able to actually advance to the round of to the final 4. And I don't know how well brake checking someone on this track is going to work out for you. Jim Casella, the DLP Chevy with Amazon.com on the side, is 4th quickest right now at a 14.98. They come into this race 39th in the owner's points. They will not be able to make top 30 looking ahead to next season. They do have plans, though, to try and run the full schedule if possible. Jake Bassinger finally got out there. He ran the 8th quickest lap right now in this group. Looking for any times to really jump up if I can see any. Well, that is it for this session. Cosmic Nova runs the slowest lap time as one of the Go-Go homers. Same for Will Lewis. So it's honestly not going to be looking very good for them to possibly make this race, which, I'm being honest, Allie Nelson probably would not complain. As I saw Jay Stella smoking at the end of it, that'll be a backup car for the 01. Currently end up being 13th in this group, so we'll have to see how that can go. Amy Shelley, though, top of this group. Matt Dixon, Jim Casella there, Jake Baskinger. 3 of them in the top 10, which not what we normally see, actually. So might actually have a more normal week out of the Go-Go homers, or I might end up being totally wrong, and we might have the other Go-Go homers just blow this one out of the water. So either way, that'll do it for group number 1. We'll be right back for group number 2. Welcome back for group number 2. Brennan Patterson, one of the Go-Go homers, going to decide to be the first one out there, and he's going to make it pretty cleanly. The R&L Carriers Ford for Brennan Patterson comes into this race 36th in the owner's points. This car cannot make the top 30, so that's going to be unfortunate for them, but going to try and make the race nonetheless and have a good effort for this for the Roush team. DJ Curtis is out there. He will race, the 25th place driver in owner's points right now with the Ginn Resorts Chevy, as Eric Powers has already been in the wall, so too has Charles Jackson. Currently second there for the 14. Looked like the 27 got out there cleanly. So we'll talk about him. Steve Pollard, one of the guys in the owner's chase, is 14th in the owner's points coming in, and sets the 3rd quickest lap time right now. So it's always good. Let's watch William Duncan try and get out there. One of the Go-Go homers this week again as well. Not top 42 in the owner's points. Will not be able to make top 40 or 30 in owner's points moving ahead to next season. So they will be a Go-Go home car for the first 3 races. Max Neuwirth. This might be a good chance for him here. Very chaotic track. Might be able to just set a time good enough. He got out there safe and cleanly, so he's not going to have to fight with things like the 24 is, where they're having to fight to get to pit lane to get a good car. Sets the 14th quickest lap time currently. Granted, he is in a lot of traffic, that Aero exhaust Chevy. Alex Perkles has set the 6th quickest lap time right now as Ish Taylor goes into the fence. Alex Perkle, though, will race. They come in this race 22nd in owner's points. Looking like a safe lock to be able to clinch up their spot in the top 30 moving ahead to next season, which is important. Top 30 in owner's points will clinch spots in the races 2 and 3 next season, as Kenny Bale has blown the motor, so that will be a backup car for the 11. That's about the one spot I will draw the line. Blown motors, if I see you with a blown motor, you are going to the back. I don't know about the damage today, in all honesty. Eric Powers gets respawned, so that looked like good enough for a backup car, in all honesty, on that car. Momo Akari with damage to the right side of the Miller Lite Dodge. That's a interesting way of having gotten that, in all honesty. 11th quickest right now. They will race. They are 27th in the owner's points. Now going to have to try and get back to the pit lane. Ish Taylor gets over there, so that's good enough for them at least. Yeah, they will race though. Currently 11th. Chris Washer currently is the points leader for the driver's chase. This car is 10th in the owner's points. And Washer, if it was just on strictly points for the year, would have a dominant lead and actually could be looking at clinching it tonight or this weekend depending on what happens, had there been no chase. Oh boy, and that's Alex Perkle, backup car. As well as Sam Young with the '07 is going to be going to a backup car. So this one already proving more chaotic than the other one, or at least I'm seeing more of it. But Washer, like I said, 10th in the owner's points. Dylan Thoreau back onto the pit lane is currently 19th in the speed charts. What? Not quite sure what happened there. 20th on the speed charts. They are 35th in the owner's points. Will have to make it in on speed. That car actually looks fairly clean in terms of like cars coming back to pit lane. In all honesty. For this track standards, that was a pretty clean car coming in. Charles Jackson currently sits on the pit lane, 19th on the speed charts. Now down to 20th as some of these guys are starting to set some pretty good lap times. The 9 is 15th in the owner's points coming in, so they will race and have already locked up a spot for next season. Dylan Casella just went to the top of the board, the 3M4 to 15-14 for this group. They had to make it in on speed, and they did a good effort at it at least, so great job for Dylan Casella. Just improved that time even more. Sam Young, 21st on the speed charts, had to make it in on speed, 33rd in the owner's points coming in. Right now, this is looking good for Allie Nelson to lock up a spot, in all honesty. Right now, I might only have to worry about Jake Baskinger. Sky Commons, the Cars Valvoline sponsored Dodge this week, 10th on the speed charts right now as Mason Powers goes to the top of the board of this group. Commons has locked up the team's spot in the top 30 in owner's points going to next season. They are 17th in the owner's points coming in. So they will race the rest of the season and are guaranteed into races 2 and 3 next season. Kenny Bale is having a rough time of it. The FedEx Freight Chevy, currently 26th quickest right now at a 16.88, as Alex Perkle gets stuck behind the 11 and actually frees it. Perkle GG. Kenny Bale will have to make it on speed. This team is not even top 42 in the owner's points, so just trying to build some momentum before they put another rookie behind the wheel of that 11 car next season. Mason Neal is currently 11th quickest in this group, and they are 19th in the owner's points. This car has locked up its spot in the top 30 in owner's points moving ahead to next season, so great news for Penske there in that they know that they will have at least one car racing. I think the 2's close enough. I don't know to locking up a spot. Either way, moving on. Talked about DJ Curtis. Theo Stegall, the Moen Chevy, currently 7th quickest and 11th in the owner's points for Theo and this DEI crew. So they will race. They will be in the field next season, depending on if they can find the driver at least. Louvier was in the pit wall. Mason Powers, the Post-it Ford this week for them, is currently top of the board at 15.00, or 15 even basically. They ran this car last week, had to and then ran the D&Q race, but they currently looking good right now. They had to make it in on speed though. Zach Kreller, the Home Depot Chevy, is currently 26th on the speed charts. Had to make it on speed, but just ran their quickest lap of the session. Does he have to check up here? This might be even quick. Nope, never mind. It was not quicker. It looked good. The 20 comes into this race 40th in the owner's points. Had to make it in on speed, and right now that time gonna have to improve. Chris Louvier, the Pepsi Chevrolet with DuPont on board, currently 10th quickest. Had to make it in on speed. They do not come into this race top 42 in owner's points, let alone top 30. So Daniel Day currently 5th quickest in the Haviland Ford for Robert Yates Racing. And they will race 26th on the owner's points coming into this one. And Yates with a lot of choices here in terms of their cars next season. They right now are only going to be the 38 and the 88. They're going back down to 2 cars after 1 year at 4. So let's see how that can go. Ish Taylor 19th quickest currently at 15:44. Had to make it in on speed. They were not top 42 in the owner's points even coming into this one. And hops up to 3rd. As right now the top 7 in this group are go or go homers. Oh boy. Remember how I said I might be wrong? I might have been wrong. Kyle Collins, the Tide Chevrolet, currently 23rd on the speed charts. They will race. They are 16th in the owner's points. This is another team right now with plans. Really, they're not expecting to run next season. So right now their funds kind of running out right now with Tide here and not expecting to run this next season. So points that would be available. Seth Cole, currently 13th quickest, was leading at one point in this session. Might have to go back out there now. Dead last in the owner's points coming in. Dead last in driver's points as well for Seth. So will drive the 25 car next season. So maybe slight improvement. Talked about William Duncan, who's now the top of the speed charts. Gene Sanford is currently 14th quickest and trying to make it to pit lane. Looks like might be able to do that this time. Or might run into a pit wall. Okay, well, that'll be a backup car. 55 is 9th in the owner's points, and Gene comes into this race 9th in driver's points as well, by a full race over 10th for the for Gene and drivers. And Charles Jackson to the pit wall. Robert Pollard currently 28th on the speed chart, having to make it in on speed, so that time's going to have to improve. Currently is 16:37 his lap of record. The CJM Dodge is 34th in owner's points and will not be able to make the top 30. 78 Ash Curtis, National Day of Prayer Chevy, is 18th quickest right now in this group and had to make it in on speed. They're not top 42 in the owner's points. Zach Kreller goes up to the top of the board in this group. Eric Powers, the UPS Ford, is currently 3rd quickest right now. And they're going to be trying to make it back to pit lane again. And Levi McIntyre just jumped up to 3rd quickest at 1491. They are 29th in the owner's points coming in. And right now Levi having to try and do some work. I think he is 5th in driver's points after a very vicious wreck last weekend at Homestead where he hit that inside wall at 190 miles an hour. Couple broken bones, but still racing here. Said he wanted to still try and make it into the top 4 or final 4 here, and right now, basically the only way to do so would be to actually run this race. So there's no caution, so you can't really do the driver swap. So gonna try and, I don't know what to really say about it. Just basically that's about it. nice frame lag there. I don't know what caused that one. And that is it for qualifying here. Zach Kreller sets the quickest lap of this session by 2 thousandths over William Duncan. Who knows whether or not that will matter. With that, that is qualifying complete. The starting lineup will roll on the screen right after this. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.